All right, guys. So we are on problem D. That's right. I almost forgot. So problem D says we have copper metal, and it's telling you that the copper metal is going to have a charge of +2, and it is placed in a solution of silver nitrate. So obviously the first thing we need to do is write our equation. So copper metal, you take a look at your periodic table. Copper metal should be just Cu. Okay, so that is Cu. All right. Just put it in the back of your mind that it has a charge of +2. It's going to be placed in a solution of silver, and that's nitrate, polyatomic ion, NO3. Okay, now we need to take a look and see what type of equation this is. You guys should realize that you have an element that's by itself, and then you have a compound. So that element is going to swap out for the compound, in the compound for the one that has the same charge. So if you know that copper has a +2 charge, out of silver and nitrate, which one is positive, which one is negative, you're going to need to know that to know which one switches. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense. Silver is the one that is positive, so silver is the one that's going to switch with copper. Now, please remember, it is a single replacement reaction. In a single replacement reaction, you have to make sure that the reaction is going to happen. So in this case, you have to take a look at your reactivity series of metal sheet and make sure that copper has a higher reactivity than silver. All right? I'm going to tell you right now that it does. So the reaction is going to happen. So if you were to take a look at what you're going to get on the other side, you are going to have copper, nitrate, and now silver is going to be all by itself. All right, so the first thing or the next thing we need to do is we need to remember that we need to make sure that our formulas are correct before we can balance. So for copper, we know that it's going to have a +2 charge on the other side. I'm just going to hold on to that for a minute. Silver is a transition metal, but remember, it's one of the exceptions. There are two exceptions, silver and there is zinc. Silver is always +1. Nitrate on your polyatomic ion sheet is -1. It tells you that your copper is going to have a charge of +2. That means you need to make sure that it carries over to the other side. And your nitrate is going to have a -1. And then your silver, because it's by itself, it doesn't have a charge. Right? So now let's write the correct formula. Silver nitrate is good. Copper and silver are good. The only problem child is going to be our copper 2 nitrate. Remember, you need 2 of them. It's a polyatomic ion. Make sure you put parentheses and then you put a 2. Okay? So now we are done with our charges. We don't need them anymore. I'm hoping that eventually you guys will get to the point where you don't feel the need to write the charges, but it's still good practice because I know we're just starting with this balance of equations, and I know we haven't done it in a little bit. All right, so now let's balance. Problem children, I have nitrate. I have 2 over here. I only have 1 over here. Guess what? I needed 2. And now I've created another problem because now I have 2 silvers over here. I only have 1 over here. I need a 2. And then if I take a look, my 2 looks a little funny. So let me see if I can fix that for you so that you guys can actually see what I'm writing. That would be nice. Okay. And then if we take a look at everybody else, copper is cool. We have 1 and we have 1. And guess what? That is your balanced equation for a reaction between copper metal and silver nitrate. So hopefully that was helpful.